Hey lovely people, I hope you all are doing well. As you all can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be cooking a seafood boil today. This has been on my mind for the longest. I've been scrolling on TikTok, watching other people eat seafood boils, whether they paid for it or they made it themselves. But in this video, I will be making my own just because I want to do that. I want to make it myself. I like to cook. And this just gives me a chance to learn how to make my own seafood boil, and I can make it to my liking, how I want it. I prefer home cooked meals over going out to eat, like sit down restaurants, because for one, it's overpriced, and then the food is not even all that. And one time I purchased a seafood boil from a place, and it had like a strand of hair in it. And it turned me all the way off. I couldn't even eat the rest of it. It was good, but I couldn't, like, ugh, yuck. So I like to make my own food because I get to season it to my liking, make it how I want to, and I'm in my own kitchen being sanitary, all right? So I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna go ahead and make my seafood boil, so y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all, so this is all my ingredients here that I will be using. I got some corn, I have some unsalted butter, I got some snow crab legs that I purchased from Walmart. All these ingredients can be purchased from Walmart. I got some beef sausage, some lemon. These are all my seasonings here. I'm using this Zatarian's crawfish crab boil, some Tony's, this Old Bay seasoning, onion powder, lemon pepper, garlic powder, paprika, chili powder, and cayenne pepper. I got some raw, easy peeled, deveined tail orange shrimp, some red potatoes, and that's everything that I got to make this crab boil. Everything came up to about 70 bucks. Which is not bad if you're gonna, and this will be able to feed at least 2 to 3 people. So, yeah, it's basically the same amount you would pay at a restaurant, but better because you're making it yourself, all right?
All right, y'all. So first, I'm just starting off by just prepping my food, like all the produce and anything that I have to cut. Right here, I'm just going ahead and peeling the layers off the corn, and I'm taking those stringly whatever off the corn as well, and I'm just going ahead and just cleaning the corn off or whatever. So yes, I did not get like any pre-cut corn because I didn't see it at my Walmart. So this was all I saw. So this was the type of corn that I got. So of course I have to just take away the layers and all the stringly pieces. I'm not sure what it is called, but if you do know, please leave it down below. I know it can be a quick Google search, but I can learn from my subscribers. So as you all can see, I have my corn set up there in that bowl. Next, I went ahead and took my garlic. I forgot to mention that I will be using garlic as well as boiled eggs in this seafood boil. I know I didn't show it in the beginning clip where I showed you all the ingredients, but I will be using both garlic and boiled eggs as well. For my garlic, I took about 2 garlic heads, maybe like 1.5, because as you all can see, there was like so many like small little cloves that, girl, I just did not have time to try to peel those cloves. So I just did about 1.5 of garlic cloves or 1.5 of a garlic head, and just went ahead and minced it myself. If you want to, you can buy the pre-made minced garlic that comes in a can, but I already had garlic cloves at home, so I was like, let me just use what I have, okay? And the thing with this seafood boil is that most of the ingredients, like the seasonings or whatever, you'll pretty much already have for the most part. Like the only 2 seasonings I was missing, the only 2 that I needed to pick up was the Zatarian seafood boil bag as well as the chili powder. All right, so here I am just prepping my red potatoes. I wanted to cut them up into quarters. Some people choose to leave them whole. Me personally, I didn't want to, so I went ahead and just cut up about, how many was that? Like 6 or 5 of them. So I went ahead and cut it up, and I set that in some cold water. All right, and next I'm going to go ahead and chop up my beef sausage. Okay, I got this pack from Walmart. And I'm just, first I started chopping up in little circles, but then I was like, let me kind of slant it a little bit. So that's what you all see me doing here. So y'all, I was curious to see how many crabs came in this little box here because I didn't know and it didn't say it on the box. So I got four little crab things or whatever. It's not like the whole crab. It's just really 2 crabs basically, but it's, you know, it's 4 or whatever. But which will do for me because it was for myself and a friend of mine. So really 2 to 3 people is what this will serve. All right, so I went ahead and put all my seasonings that I showed you all in the beginning of the video. I put about 2 tablespoons worth on a plate of each seasoning. I started boiling my water in a big pot, okay, a giant pot, because that's where you will be boiling everything. And I went ahead and added that Cesarean crab boil in a bag and put that in the water, okay? You don't have to, but I feel like it did help my seafood get a little flavor. But if you only want to just add your seasonings to the water, that's fine. So here I am pouring my seasoning into the water and I'm letting that boil a bit. And I don't know if y'all saw, but in that previous clip, you can see my eggs boiling as well. I went ahead and squeezed a half a lemon into that boiling water. Y'all, please excuse my stovetop. I'm cooking, it gets messy, okay? Point blank. So yes, I'm just squeezing that lemon juice into the water to help enhance the flavor of the seasonings. And of course, lemon juice just adds that that tangy taste, which is like so good, okay? All right, so in that separate pot there, I'm just boiling my eggs. I actually boiled about 5, well, not about, I boiled 5 eggs, okay? So like I said, this is just for 2 people, so I'm making it to my liking of how much we eat. So here I am, I'm adding to that boiling water the potatoes and the corn. I go ahead and add that first because they cook pretty, the longest out of all the ingredients. They're gonna take a little bit more time. All right, so I'm going also in adding my corn and letting that just soak up and absorb some of that juice and that flavor, y'all. That juice and that flavor. Look at that pot. All right, so I did go ahead and cook my sausage off camera. I just fried it in a pan, heated up a pan and fried my sausage. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and make our sauce. I did use 4 sticks of butter and that was perfect and more than enough for this boil that I made. So I'm just going ahead and adding, and let me make this clear, unsalted butter. Please use unsalted butter, okay? I've seen a lot of people complain saying that when they try to make their own seafood boil at home, it comes out very salty. Number 1, don't use salted butter because the ingredients that you are using already contains, not the ingredients, but the seasonings that you are using already contain salt. And secondly, don't add salt to your seasonings, okay? That's just too much. So from that minced garlic that I minced earlier, I'm going ahead and adding it into the butter once it's fully melted. And I'm just going ahead and stirring that around. Okay, and I did keep my eye on the stove on like a medium type of medium heat setting, okay? Then I went ahead and added those same seasonings, about 2 tablespoons of each seasoning, okay? And I'm going ahead and adding my lemon juice as well, okay? So if you all follow these ingredients exactly how I'm making it, your sauce will turn out so good. Like, the sauce is really what makes the seafood boil. And when I tell y'all this sauce was so good, it was flavorful. It wasn't too salty or overpowering. Okay, I just went back in and add a sprinkle of Old Bay seasoning as well as some lemon pepper. And then I think I did go ahead and add some Old Bay seasoning. Did I already add that? No, some Tony seasoning as well. So just adding a sprinkle of that just to add more to it and help it remain flavorful. So I think I went back with garlic powder. Not sure what that was. But But yes, I'm just stirring that and mixing up all those flavors in that butter. And then eventually I did go ahead and turn the heat down to a low simmer, okay? All right, so after I finished my sauce, I went ahead and checked on my potatoes and corn. The potatoes were starting to rise a little bit, so I'm like, okay, they may be ready, but you know, you gotta check and do the test with your potatoes. So I'm just taking a look at them outside the water. If they still have like that opaque white look, then to me they're not ready. But of course, make things to your liking. It still had that opaque white look in the middle. And also I squeeze my potatoes to make sure, just to see if it's soft and ready to be eaten. All right, so here I am. I thought I was going to be able to just go ahead and add my potatoes and corn, but I realized the potatoes weren't really done to my liking. So you'll see me basically just put the potatoes back into the pot and let it boil for another like 5 to 10 minutes. All right, but just do the potato test, and that's when you know like your potato and corn is done, okay? And I just took them out at the same time. My corn tastes extremely good. It was like sweet and flavorful at the same time. So I just went ahead and add those potatoes back. And like I said, I let it cook for another about 5 to 10 minutes because I want those potatoes to be soft and easy to bite into. All right, y'all. So now my potatoes and corn are done. And as you can see, I did go ahead and my eggs did finish boiling. So I went ahead and cracked the shells off of those. I didn't show the clip because, I mean, eggs are pretty easy and self-explanatory. Once they're done, just go ahead and peel the shell off and whatever. But here I'm adding my corn and potatoes to the pan, and my seafood boil is almost done at this point, okay? We're just waiting for our 2 major seafoods, which is our shrimp and crab. So everything we have in our pan so far, eggs, corn, potatoes, and sausage. All right? So I'm just making sure I got all of my potatoes out, leave nothing behind. So this is how my water is looking once I added the shrimp. Okay, the shrimp don't take long at all. They turn pink instantly. Okay, but one way to know that they're done, aside from them being pink, they'll curl up even more. So, yes. So I'm just showing you all everything that's in my pan so far, okay? Look how good that is. Look how good it looks. We got our eggs, our corn, our potatoes, and our sausage. Yummy. So once my shrimp have finished boiling in the water, I go ahead and I add it to the pot of the sauce that we made earlier. I still have that sauce on a low simmer, so I'm going ahead and adding those shrimp to the sauce, all right? And the shrimp is going to absorb all that goodness, that flavorful, that juice, that juiciness from the sauce. It's going to get absorbed into the skin and to the shell, and it's just going to be so delicious. So I'm just going ahead and taking out all my shrimp and adding it to that sauce, okay, and letting it marinate and get so good and juicy and flavorful. Y'all, when I tell y'all this seafood boil was everything, it was everything. You do not have to go out and pay for a seafood boil unless you want to, but I guarantee you it's not going to be better than this, okay? It's not going to be better than this. Like, out of all the seafood boils I've had, this one was the best, hands down. And I'm not saying it just because I made it. But I'm just going ahead and mixing up that garlic that I minced in there, that seasoning, all of that, and putting it all over, okay? All over. So working with our same pot, I'm going ahead and adding my crabs to the pot, making sure they're covered in that water so they can cook thoroughly. And I let that cook for about 4 to 5 minutes because the crabs that I had, it didn't take long to cook. So yeah, it's just letting it cook until it's thoroughly done. Once that crab is done, I just go ahead and add it with my other ingredients into that pan. because we're about done with our seafood boil. The last step is to go ahead and pour that juicy sauce and shrimp over on top. All that goodness. Do y'all see that seasoning? And the garlic, oh my gosh, y'all, this was amazing. And yes, I did take a fork or something to scrape the bottom of the pan because we leave nothing behind. But this is my seafood boil, y'all. I got my lemon on the side. It was so amazing. Okay, my partner and I, we had a good time enjoying the seafood. Okay, and it was so delicious. When I tell y'all, I never had a seafood boil this good. It was so good. Flavor on point, not too salty, sauce, juice, everything just on point. Okay, so please let me know if you all would try this seafood boil. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, peace and blessings.